Well, hey everybody, I'm John Ritland. This is my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 29 Night 15 event. Sorry for the delay with this review, and apologies in advance for the delay with tomorrow's review. Because I work late Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to need to, get some sleep and everything. But want to make mention for Saturday the 10th for Night 17, I will be reviewing that one shortly after it is done. I will watch that one live. Same goes for Night 18, Sunday morning. And then for the finals, because I'm on the West Coast, that's going to be on for me at 11 p.m. that night. And I also reviewed WWE, so I'm going to review NXT TakeOver Toronto 2, Electric Boogaloo, and SummerSlam. So basically, after the SummerSlam review, I'm going to come right home, stay awake, and I'm going to watch the G1 finals. You know why? Because the least I can do for all these wrestlers that put their bodies on the line every single night is share my passion about wrestling and review it. It's the least I can do as a wrestling fan. It's the one way I can get back to them. And really, the G1 has been a whole lot of fun. Is it the greatest G1 of all time? Arguable. Hindsight's 2020 on a lot of these things. There's been a lot of terrific G1 tournaments. Looking back, even before 28, 27, 26, and all that and everything, it would be hard to pinpoint the best G1 tournament. This one is up there, though, because even with some of the bad matches, it has been a whole lot of fun. And I think you know a lot of the bad matches if you've been watching my reviews, and thank you very much for appreciating the reviews that I have, that I've been doing. It really means a lot to me, guys. It really means a lot that as a fellow wrestling fan, you as fellow wrestling fans love what I have to say. Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero on commentary, Minoru Suzuki, Kanemaru, and Taichi versus Yano, Yota, and Yuya Yamura. It's a Yano Taichi preview. Who can out-heel the other? And, of course, a jump before the bell. These are going to be quick with the undercard matches. The undercard matches actually weren't that bad here, but there wasn't a whole lot of note, really, because now with how a lot of these are going, like, it's pretty obvious who's going to be in the finals, who's not going to be, who's just plain spoiler at this point. But anyway, Suzuki and Yota fight out. I mean, Yota pretty much getting the shit beat out of him after a few moves. Everybody goes outside, pairs off, and then Yano and Taichi do some comedy with the turnbuckle pad, because of course they do. And then Yuya and Kanemaru are in. Yuya hit some good moves, but in the end taps out to the Boston Crab from Kanemaru, and that was fine. It was fine. It was obvious that Yuya was probably going to take it. I think it would take the fall, that is. Yota, I think they see both of them as promising, but Yota, I think, maybe has a little more promise right now. Yuya's going to get great, though, because he really does have a lot of fire. And then we get Taichi rolling up Yano in the apron skirt, which maybe means that Yano's going to do the same thing to Taichi tomorrow, and that's how he's going to win. Who the hell knows? We then get Goto and Yoshihashi versus Jon Moxley and Shota Umino, and it's a preview of Goto and Moxley, and oh boy, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting to see who wins that one. This one was short. This one was short as fuck. Shota does get in there eventually. I mean, after Goto and Moxley had a bit of an exchange, Goto beats up Shota for a bit. We then get Yoshihashi and Shota, and even though Shota hits some moves, he taps out to the butterfly lock soon afterwards. This one was 5-6 minutes tops. We then get Jay White, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi versus Juice, Toa Henare, and Honma. And it's a preview of Jay White versus Juice, which ought to be interesting, considering, it's playing off their history at the G1 at the Cow Palace, that kind of thing. And the fact that these guys actually do work pretty well together. Honma and Yujiro start. They're having this nice little undercard feud that's going on where they just keep trying to beat the shit out of each other in these matches. Honma does get beat up. He does hit a diving Kokeshi, headbutt and everything on Jay. And then Juice gets in. He tangles with Chase. And then soon after, Henare gets tagged. Does some impressive spots with Chase. But in the end, Chase's package pile driver pins Henare for the 1-2-3. Once again, please put Henare in the G1 next year. I wish he was in this year. But this is just going to drive him to get better. I don't know if people see in Henare what I and some other fans do, but I just think Henare has a lot of promise and deserves a spotlight and deserves a chance. It wasn't that bad. Fortunately, and it really looked like a vicious package pile driver, so I'm glad that Henare is okay, because that looked really fucking brutal. And then we get LIJ members Bushi, Naito, and Shingo versus Tomohiro Ishii, Jeff Cobb, and Ren Narita. I wonder who's taking... Hi, Narita. You're taking the pinfall here. It's previews of Cobb and Naito and Ishii and Shingo. And at one point, Naito just chases Rocky Romero off of commentary, and then just speaks Spanish to Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly tries to respond in Spanish. It was kind of a funny exchange. Match wasn't that bad. It was pretty enjoyable. Ishii and Shingo start. That's going to be a really interesting, hard-hitting match right there. Cobb and Naito get in. Cobb showing off his strength. Naito just, of course, being, the full-on dick that he is, yet still fucking over as hell. Narita and Bushi are in, and then the MX pins Ren Narita soon after. And then you get Ishii and Shingo staring each other down afterwards while Naito attacks Cobb's leg and everything. So not a bad match. LIJ, despite the fact they're supposed to be, they're pretty much heels, but they're also faces. It's hard to not cheer them because of how cool they all are. When Bushi is the least of your group and he's still a pretty damn impressive member, that's saying something right there. We then get to the first of the A-block matches. It's Archer versus Sanada, a better match than I expected. Both these guys are eliminated, and I'll go over the point totals at the end of this, by the way. But Archer attacks Sanada in the entranceway, even puts on his mask at some point, just puts it over his face. I'm trying not to block out my voice and everything, but it was just kind of funny that he did that. After a bit, Archer does that rolling senton, kind of like Cactus Jack, does it off the apron. That was a pretty cool spot, especially for Archer, A, being as tall as he is, and B, being in his early 40s and still doing that kind of stuff. He's clearly taking care of his body, and it shows, and he's a lot more over here, I think, than he's been the last couple years. Big old black hole slam back in the ring. That was pretty cool. That was for 2. Sanada does focus on Archer's knee, trying to ground him and everything. Big skull and reversal and a reverse DDT by Archer. Big choke slam by Archer. Don't get me wrong, Sanada got in his moves here, but this was kind of a dominant match by Archer until the pounce attempt, the derailer. Archer, tries for that. Sanada dodges and then gets the beautiful bridging pin. 1, 2, 3. So Sanada gets a victory. Kind of rolls on, even though he's eliminated. He did beat Okada recently, and I think this was definitely the right call. But Archer looked dominant. I'm gonna be interested to see what they do with Archer after this tournament's done. This was an enjoyable match. I don't know if it's great, but it's an enjoyable match. And what wasn't enjoyable was the next one. It's Tanahashi versus Bad Luck Fale. Now, I will say that this match was better than I expected, but I have such a low bar on Fale matches. That's nothing against him. He just shouldn't be in the G1 anymore because he just can't carry a singles match. He just can't. In tag matches, he can. It happens with a lot of monster heels. Some can carry a match on their own. He just can't. Attack around, before or just at the bell, of course. We get interference, big shock, Goto, or Jotto rather, hitting Tanahashi with the cane. Tana does come back. There were some decent exchanges, I guess. Fale does hit a splash at one point for 2. High fly flow once. He goes forward again. And then Jotto cracks him in the knee with the cane. And the grenade for 2. Tana almost looks like he's going to win, but nope, he gets caught in a backslide. 1, 2, 3. So that's the second match in a row that Fale has won with a wrestling hold. Because he beat Kenta. Well, okay, this is the second match of the tournament that he did, where he won with a wrestling hold. So, okay, Tana wasn't going to win the tournament anyway, so it is what it is. Tana wasn't going to be figured into the major championship picture, so I'm not for this necessarily, because I don't really see why you want to give Fale the win, but whatever. If you're going to keep Tana kind of in the mid card, okay, that is what it is. I didn't necessarily like it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily like it, and it was kind of confusing to me. What was really confusing to me was the following match. It's Kenta versus Will Osprey. Boy, so many kicks, Good God, all the goddamn kicks here. It went outside a bit. Kenta was dominating Osprey a bit. Heavy strikes inside Osprey. The Phantom of the Osprey is here. And then there's an Os Cutter out of nowhere. Now, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Leave me alone. Kidding. Don't leave me alone. So, we get more Kenta kicks. It's kind of baffling just how good Kenta looks here and is allowed to look. I know that he's never been everybody's cup of tea in the ring, but I think this match with Osprey was pretty eye-opening. He's had a really good tournament. Even Osprey's had a good tournament, but Kenta's had a really good tournament to remind us of how good he is. And this can be a nice way for him to go out after a couple years if he wants to be in New Japan. I don't know what his contract status is, if he even has a contract status. But we then get a big old Falcon Arrow by Kenta on the apron, which, as we know, is the hardest part of the ring. And then we get a big double stomp for 2. More strikes, big power bomb by Osprey for 2. The game over, the crossface and everything, but Osprey gets to the ropes. Psycho knee, there's a few psycho knees here. Kenta hit 1 for 2. Big Os Cutter for 2. Hook kick, hidden blade, Stormbreaker. 1, 2, 3. I'm a bit surprised that Osprey beat Kenta. I'm a bit surprised by that. Maybe they're trying to make sure that Osprey isn't just beating the powder in this tournament, so maybe Hiromu comes back. I think Hiromu's going to come back on the finals of the finals of the G1, which is going to send everybody into goddamn tears because we all miss Hiromu. I don't know if I agree with this necessarily. I think they should have kept some drama going, unless they just wanted to make it obvious that Kenta was just not going to be, figured into the finals and everything. So I guess I sort of get it. And it would have been an outside shot anyway, even if he had won here, but still, maybe they just wanted to make it obvious what they were going to do with the I don't know. I'm a bit surprised by it. I'm not disappointed. I'm just surprised. But Osprey did win. It wasn't a bad match. It was actually a pretty good match. Things did improve. This was just a bit above Archer and Sanada. And I do like the combo of Osprey gets beat up and everything, and then finally is able to hit that stuff. That hook kick was brutal. It really looked like it connected with the side of, Kenta's head. But Kenta's a tough old guy and everything. So, I say tough old guy, and I think he's a year older than me. But no, he's a tough guy after so many years in the ring. But anyway, then we get to Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. And this match was about 17 minutes, but it felt incredibly short. Maybe that's just because they've tangled so many times that they can make a match pass by quickly, even though Zack Sabre Jr. doesn't have the style that everybody enjoys, which I don't understand, because his submissions and the fact that he can pretzel anybody up like crazy is absolutely incredible. And it's scary to think that about around this time 3 years ago, these guys were competing in the Cruiserweight Classic and didn't sign with WWE. Can you imagine how badly they would have been used? I mean, let's be honest. I'm not saying everybody, just a little bit of a soapbox thing. I'm not saying everybody would be used bad in WWE if they went there. I'm not saying everybody would be used great by New Japan if they went there. But these two fit perfectly there. They fit perfectly. And honestly, I'm so glad that they decided to be in New Japan instead. But anyway, I digress on that. Great mat wrestling at first. Of course, what else are you going to expect? Ankle focus by Zack. Zack's just hammering on that goddamn ankle, that sprained ankle and all that bruised ankle. He does like an ankle hook in the ropes. I mean, of course, that looks like it hurts. I mean, and that's the thing. Sabre Jr. makes it look like it hurt, but makes every move look like they hurt. But you can tell how safe he is. He's just incredibly vicious with how he does this stuff. He makes it look so goddamn real. The submissions are absolutely incredible in this. Big old last right by Ibushi for 2. The pretzel submissions, I like to call, where it looked like Ibushi was going to tap out. And I'm like, don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. Because since Kenta lost, this would give Ibushi an edge if he got 2 points ahead and stayed ahead. 3 roll-ups by Zack Sabre Jr. He managed to just get 2 on both of those. Soon after, Bomaye, the Nakamura finisher. And then Kamigoye for 3. And Ibushi is still alive in the tournament. Very much alive. Even with the end of this. Even with the end of the main event. I enjoyed this match. I always enjoy Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. It was a nice way kind of wrap it around after Ibushi shockingly lost in the New Japan Cup to Zack Sabre Jr. I thought this was the right call. I thought it was pretty good. And then we get to Okada versus Evil. Can Evil beat Okada like he did 2 years ago? No, is the short answer. Though I thought that Evil was going to get the victory. Now, he was on the bubble, but I was shocked that he actually did not win here. I thought they were going to go with that, but after Kenta lost, I kind of felt like Okada would win, but they got me a few times. They got me a few times with this. It was even at first, of course, it starts slow, because Okada matches kind of build, with a slow boil and stuff like that. Okada does focus on Evil's neck. Evil was just hitting massive clotheslines and lariats and everything. Not like every single time, but boy, when he hit them with some tremendous impact. Okada does get sent over the barricade. That was a pretty cool spot. We get an diving elbow by Okada. Big old drop kick to Evil. Sending Evil outside. Of course, Evil again hit the apron, which as we know is the hardest part of the ring. Go outside again, back inside. We get a big superplex from Evil. Get a drop kick from Okada. We got more strikes. We got a tombstone from Okada. Huge lariat by Evil. I'm looking down at my notes here. I had to write down all these spots. I had to write down all this stuff. Big old short Rainmaker, and then another one, but Evil countered that. 2 half Nelson suplexes. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're going to get everything as Evil. Nope. Okada kept countering that. Drop kick to the back of the head. Another drop kick. Big old lariat from Evil. Look like Evil might get it. Nope. Everything is Evil. No. Spinning Rainmaker, and then Rainmaker 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Okada now has the most points. Still has the most points of the A block. He wins. And we get Kota Ibushi versus Okada to determine who is going to win the A block. Now, Okada's 2 points ahead. All Ibushi has to do is win. And he's got, like, if there's a tie, Okada goes. If Okada wins, obviously he goes. But if Ibushi wins, he has a tiebreaker. And I'm surprised how they were able to get here. It's great interweaving of the storylines and everything. I really did enjoy this one. I've forgotten to give my grade the last few nights, so it's like I put them in the description of this. I'm going to say B. I'm going to say B. It was a solid show. I enjoyed it. It flowed just fine. Really, besides, and even Tanahashi and, Tanahashi and Fale, while it wasn't great, at least it was kept kind of short. I really don't understand why Fale won, but it is what it is. So, I'm going to go over the point totals here, and I'm going to finish up this review. So, yes, B, and if I forget to put a poll up there, please leave in the comments what you guys think. We got Will Osprey at 6, Lance Archer at 4, I believe. Evil at 8, he is eliminated. Bad Luck Fale at 6, he's eliminated. Sanada at 8, Zack Sabre Jr. at 6. We get Kenta and Tanahashi both at 8. And the 2 remaining alive, Okada at 14, and Kota Ibushi at 12. So it's going to be very interesting. Somebody called, Jen, I want to say it was you, that you called that, I think you called it Okada would lose to Ibushi. If Ibushi gets into the finals, I'm all for it, but if Ibushi gets to the finals, he has to win. He has to. After the disappointment last year, he has to win here. He is signed to New Japan. They got it. They gotta just go for it. They just gotta go for it right here. I was gonna say another statement. I'm going to in light of other events. They just gotta go all out on this and do it. So I think Dakota is going to beat Okada, and then I think Kota is going to win the G1 as he should. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens at Wrestle Kingdom. But anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you tomorrow.